My name's Andres. I work with TD Industries here in Austin, Texas. We're here downtown and we work across from Barton Springs. There's the Google building and all the new things that are going on. We're at WeWork, where we are working on some LG multi-V4s. And there's a whole lot you can do with your laptop and the LGMV software. This is our model that we're particularly working on. And this is set up in a master-slave situation where we have one master and two slaves. That's all would be better to learn in an install class from LG. I'm not gonna go too deep into that. Just the wiring's critical, the type of the wiring, all LG's little steps that they have, no breaks in the wire. They have a lot of rules for their install, so you gotta cross all your T's and dot all your I's with the install before you even get started. So another thing is you can't have any kind of rigging. You got to get everything OEM LG. This is their kit. It's the LGMV. It comes in this bag. It comes with a module that you connect to this harness. And that wire then goes here, and then for some reason it has to connect to another cable, and that cable goes to your PC board. From that module, you go out to your PC board, your laptop. First thing you got to do is find out what kind of unit you have inside. So here during install, they made sure we know there's 13 indoor units and 5 heat recovery boxes. It's critical to know. We'll go over that here in a little bit later. And to read it on your LGMV, what you got to do now is lift up dip switch 3 and 5 for your slow and high-speed communication lines. You'll get a funk. You can't really see it, but it says function. You have different options that you'll go through, but that's primarily where we're going to stay locked in. I only have power over there, so I have to run extension cords. You're going to be running LGMVs. You're going to want to get a little couple extension cords for when you're on a roof in a situation where your laptop needs to be plugged in. I gotta plug in my power to my phone. So like I said, it comes here from the LGV module to your laptop. What you gotta do next is dadgummit. Anyway, you're gonna open up your I connected an iPhone and this thing did not like it. Let me end iTunes real quick. Alrighty, so then you open up your LGMV8 program. There's 2 programs. Let me go back real quick. Now you gotta get your LATs program here, and then you gotta get your LGMV LATs when you're doing your installs. So you find out how to critically charge these systems, and then LGMV8 is what you need. You need to get it from LG, so you can download the disk into your computer, and you can have all the drivers and everything. Otherwise, it's going to think it's some pirated version and not let you do it. All right, so then you open it up. Let me go back. I kind of skipped a step there. So you're going to go here, open it up. It's going to ask you this question. Always choose yes. Then you're going to go to monitoring. There's other ones here, but the one we're going to be doing is monitoring. And this is where I was saying earlier, you have to know exactly your heat recovery boxes and your indoor units. It's going to ask, because if you get these wrong, it's not going to pick up the indoor units. It has to communicate them. So we're working on a multi-V heat recovery. There are different kinds. You have just straight heat pumps, which are only cooling or only heat, and then you have all these other types of little things. But we're in the heat recovery, and we're working on multi-V4s. Heat recovery. We have 3 outdoor units, 1, 2, 3. And we saw earlier when they install people 13 indoor units and 5 heat recovery boxes. So make sure that's all right. Say I only put here 4. When I go confirm, it's only going to recognize 4 of the right here where it loads all your indoor unit data. See, it only loaded 4 of them. You can come up here and go to your setting change. We're going to go back to 13. And you got to get that right. You got to make sure your comm over here says okay. That means it's picking up everything fine. And boom, it starts loading your data. All your indoor unit stuff. And we'll go over little by little what you're looking at. Here, most obvious one, you don't got to use gauges. Never connect gauges to these systems. If you got the software, you can plug in high size at 338, low size 114, gives us their version of subcool. Here, it tells you what modes it's in, if it's off, satisfied, in cool, it says how much airflow. 3 is max airflow. It's going to make you save a file because it saves all the data in real time. So it's like it monitors it. Say you want to leave it recording data for 2 days or a day, you can do that, whatever setting you need. So the most important things are going to be, well, everything's pretty important. Over here it tells you what compressors are doing. It tells you your amps, what the target amperage is and what the actual is for master slave 1, slave 2, which is all good. It tells you the target, the speed, how wide your EEV is or how shut it is, and vice versa, your sub ones. It tells you the outside discharge air temp. It tells you your inverter discharge temp. So kind of the main important ones that you can tell a lot from are going to be obviously your head and low pressures. These things have variable speeds, compressors and fans, so these can swing up and down. Say we had a unit one time that was starved, and these units would amp up the compressors all the way, but slow down or shut off the fans to where they were maintaining a head pressure and about the same pressure. But when the fans would kick on, it would drop down to 260, and they were able, with the adjusting EEVs, to constantly maintain a more or less that kind of low pressure. So they're able to upkeep fairly well. But where you're going to see a big thing is that your air handlers, these EEVs. If you don't have enough liquid refrigerant getting to these units, 40 is shut, like satisfied, and I think it's 1335 that would be no, that would be wide open, flooded. And what you want is anywhere between 400 to 600. So these are all pretty good, especially with these where you have a pipe going in at 48 degrees and coming out at 51. So you know that there's a lot of liquid boiling off in there, since it's not really a big increase, only a 2.4 degrees subcool / superheat. That EEV is pretty shut, so it's not flooding that evap super deep. We just had a bunch of units. Indoor unit 12, for some reason it's saying it's off, but it's probably just because it's satisfied. Same things with here. You can see what the air is, ambient. So everything right here is set for 72, and everything for the most, except for this one, is reaching temp. But this might be, this might be in a lobby or something. This one you can see it's 75. Everything else is pretty much within range. If you have a starved condenser, these are going to be wide open, trying to flood those evaps as much as they can. This is a good sign. And a good sign is also your discharge temp. If you don't have any, if all your liquid's boiled off to where your gas is coming back and you don't have proper superheat on your suction side, your discharge temp is going to be like 190 to 200. Right here, this is perfect within range, 160. That's what our discharge temp. So that's another big thing to look out for. And everything else is just going to be as you need to know. You know, your inverter temps too, your suck and discharge temps. It tells you what your bore temperatures are. And it has a nice little, and it tells you this, if you have any swings, like when that unit I was saying earlier, when it was shutting off your condenser fan motors, you would see these waves form, and that's not good. What you want is these nice steady lines, so that you don't have any peaks in energy consumption or anything like that. These units don't turn off or work conventional on or off. There's a lot of in-between gray areas. And that's a quick rundown on the LGMV. This is what you need to be monitoring. This is how you look at it. You can get different information. If you want to see your other EEVs, you go here and you can go to actuator 1. You have different sub-menus. This is your sensor discharge, and then if you have electric issues, it'll tell you all that. Your how many amps you're putting in, out, and your voltages. Right there, in each inverter is outputting almost 500 volts at 7.2 amps. So that's really good. It's not a lot of juice. It tells you what your valves are doing. And you need this really, really well, or really bad to even work on these LGs. I wouldn't ever put gauges and approach it to like a conventional system at all. You'll be wrong. And you can, if you want to go and say, I want to see what's going on with indoor unit 18 right here, 12, it's off for some reason. I can go to your control. I'm going to go to select all. I'm going to put them all into cool. and at 71.6 degrees and push operation OK and exit. It's kind of lagged, it doesn't do it instantly. Sorry, the video quality is kind of lame, but I gotta sit in the shade here in Texas. But yeah, that's your LGMV software.